Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. A recent meeting of environmental activists and leaders focused on the impacts of increased risks from extreme weather amid fewer environmental protections. And here to tell us more is Sandy Barr. She's the director of the Sierra Club's Grand Canyon chapter. Sandy, it was a pleasure. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Okay, so a meeting, these are environmental leaders, these are healthcare. What was this all about, this meeting?
Well, there have actually been a series of meetings that we've been doing, and they're with local communities to hear from people in those communities. We were in West Phoenix, we were down in Tucson, Yuma and Flagstaff, and here in Central Phoenix as well. And the meetings are focusing on the impacts of the rollbacks to climate protections that we're seeing under the Trump administration. You know, they're trying to roll back the rule to reduce carbon emissions from power plants. They're trying to get rid of something called the endangerment finding that underpins all climate action. The list goes on, and of course they're actively trying to keep coal plants open longer. And so we talked about that, but also, you know, about what we're feeling right now, and extreme heat is our extreme weather. You know, we don't get hurricanes here, but we get a lot of extreme heat, and it kills more people than, you know, hurricanes and other disasters.
Yeah, I know the focus was on the impact on Arizonans' health and livelihoods because of the extreme weather, and also as a result of what we'll see increasingly, I would imagine, the fewer restrictions and regulations.
Exactly. And it's why we need to do more with local government and state government, all the while still pushing back on the federal government against these repeals. But yeah, in Tucson, it was primarily outdoor workers. They were telling their stories about, you know, having extreme heat emergencies, coming home, being nauseous, not being able to cool down. They had stories of coworkers who died. And, you know, we need better worker protections in addition to addressing these issues related to climate. And what I was particularly moved by is, even before, you know, I mentioned it or others mentioned it, these folks were bringing up climate change, and they were bringing up their concerns about what was going on. They understood the connections.
Yeah, and again, this is amid the rollback of so many things, including, you mentioned carbon pollution standards for power plants. Talk to us about those rollbacks and what the impact either is now or will be in the future.
Well, the impact is that we will see more emissions from coal and gas plants. We're already seeing Arizona Public Service announce that it is going to retire the Four Corners power plant 7 years later. They were scheduled to retire in 2031. Now they're pushing it out to 2038. They've also abandoned any climate commitments that they've made. And, you know, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there are not those regulations, those protections that are going to be in place to push them to do it, because these monopoly utilities need to be, you know, they need to be told that they have to do things, or they'll just say, oh, never mind.
The endangerment finding that you mentioned also, we did a couple of segments on that and how important that is, because it underpins so much. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, basically the endangerment finding is that climate pollution endangers our health. And it doesn't take a climate scientist or a health professional to see that. I mean, we were just talking about extreme heat, but increased fires, you know, poorer air quality, all of those things are feeding into endangering our health. And this administration is not only proposing to repeal that, but to deny that climate change is bad for our health. They're trying to say, oh no, it's not that bad, and so I think, you know, it's sometimes you just have to shake your head on it, but that's so important. All these other rules or protections, it would be very difficult for the Environmental Protection Agency to do them if that endangerment finding goes away.
And again, along with all the things we've talked about, there are budget cuts here, there, everywhere. The impact on this particular issue when the money is not there and the agencies are being clawed back.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they're proposing to cut even more in the Trump budget. They want to cut the Environmental Protection Agency by 54%. That has impacts right here on the ground and soon on our air quality. There's fewer dollars to do implementation of air quality protections. There obviously is less money to address any kind of climate protections that remain. So yes, it's huge.
And yet the administration says that changes are needed to achieve, I think the phrase is energy dominance. We need to roll back. We need to ease up to achieve energy dominance in an increasingly nasty world. Is there a point there?
No. That is, to me, that is rhetoric, tough guy rhetoric, but it doesn't address the reality of what we see here in Arizona. If Arizona wants to have energy dominance, we should be investing in what we have a lot of, and that's sunshine. And it's been good for business. It's created a lot of jobs in our communities. And in helping to address a changing climate, we can begin to help cool things down, in the meantime mitigating the impacts.
But is there a ceiling, as it were, on the sun and on the fact that you can only store so much when you don't have the sun out, when it's nighttime or when the storms come rolling through, or whatever the case may be? Are we at that point with storage where it is feasible?
We're not even close. We still don't even have enough solar on our grid. We need to do a lot more. There's a lot more opportunities for storage. There are different types of storage. We can invest in wind elsewhere. Working with our neighboring states, we can also rely, again, a little bit more on wind generation. And you have to have an integrated grid. There are also things like microgrids that we could be using, community solar. We haven't even begun to get there, and these types of policies erect roadblocks. They actively block clean energy and block progress on climate change.
And last question here, real quickly, we're running short on time, but so when the Trump administration says expanding fossil fuels is necessary, it's necessary right now to lower energy costs, help business, help job production, help growth, you say,
no, I mean, solar is way cheaper than coal generation. Again, you don't have to take my word for it. You can look at APS's own numbers on the Four Corners Power Plant. It's a dirty plant. It's an expensive plant, and it uses a lot of water. All of the things that we don't need here in the Southwest. We need generation that is clean, that doesn't put carbon into the atmosphere, and that doesn't use a lot of water. That's why we should be investing even more in solar.
Sandy Barr, Sierra Club Grand Canyon chapter, Sierra Club Grand Canyon, well, that's a little mouth burner there. It's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to see you as well. Thank you.